How's it going, everybody? This is Siri here, and I'm back doing a Brimstone gameplay video. Now, I did do some testing with this team, and on offense, they were spectacular. The big thing is going to be on the defensive side of things. This team has so many holes that they shore up just by replacing one member, which I'm going to go over that with you right now. Damon Hellstrom, he's going to be the first character we're going to be getting. He's 134 speed, which makes it to where trying to find a counter for this team is very difficult. And if you end up going into the mirror matchup, their mirror matchup is brutal because the ultimate right here in war, how it ends up putting ability block to alt support and controller enemies. And if you look, this character is a controller enemy, so whichever Damon goes first is going to put an ability block trauma on you. Now with the passive on here, on enemy death, he's going to be filling the speed bar. He's going to generate 1 ability energy for 2 Brimstone allies, making it to where if you try to do a burn attack, you need to make sure that none of your characters dies, which is very difficult because the speed and the damage that this team is throwing out is so punishing. The other big character on here is going to be Hellcat, who is a 133 character right here. And on her passive, if she has 3 or more Brimstone allies, she's going to generate 2 ultimate ability to herself, making it to where it's going to be a turn 1 ult, which is going to clear negative effects. It's going to get a stun with bleed, heal block, disrupt, and trauma out there. So trauma stun, turn 1 ability is very nasty with the 133 speed character. Then you have the special, which does bleed, heal block, disrupt, trauma. And the basic, if she gets a crit, is going to get an ability block out there. So I do actually like her as a striker, because if you look at Strange Heartless passive, he does make it to where he gives 50% crit chance and crit damage to Brimstone allies. So it's very, very powerful as far as that goes. Now, as far as abilities that this team does shut down, if we look at Damon Hellstrom down here, in war, he's going to make it to where enemies cannot have their resistance increased by positive effects. That's going to shut down Cosmic Ghost Rider. The focus and damage of this character can only be reduced by offense down. And also, enemies cannot have their speed increased except by positive effects and rage. This is the new Emma passive that's built into here. If you go ahead, take a look at Hellcat, she also has a line in here to where in war, enemies cannot fill or reduce speed bar for themselves. So they're stopping turn meter, they're stopping speed, but they don't have a way to stop the speed stat. Now there's going to be a character coming to the game and we already have 2 characters in game that do this. Blue Marvel. He's going to be the 5th on this team on defense. It is going to be a nightmare, and I'm going to kind of show you why. If we go down all the way to his passive on here, the speed and focus of this character and all allies can only reduce by negative effects. This is going to stop the OG Emma, because unless they have in the meantime like Apocalypse or Nightcrawler, you can end up going in with your own team, throw OG Emma on there. Mirror matchup is going to be a breeze because you're going to go first. If they have Apocalypse on there, stopping the speed means that you can't bring in Kang and you can't bring in OG Emma. It's going to be brutal as far as that goes. So let's go ahead and show you how this team performs on the offensive side of things. The little bit of testing I did, I was not feeling threatened at all on here. So let's go ahead and jump in, and we're going to end up going over to Dorky Dad's defense. We end up setting the same defense, so we can kind of test up against each other. So all the way down here, we do see there's a Brimstone with Apocalypse right here. I'm going to show you how this matchup ends up going later on. It's very, very nasty. I'm not going to enjoy this. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and throw in the full 5-person Brimstone. I do like Damon being a Raider. Just guarantees a crit, trying to get the double tap. Strange Heartless as a Raider. Elsa Raider. Hellcat, I like her as a striker because she's ready getting that 50% boost and crit chance. So if you end up doing like an ultimate or a special, get the double tap on there. If you get the crit, you get the ability block. Living Mummy, I do like him as a striker. Just his ISO attack is very powerful. Now this defense right here is a Fantastic Four MCU, Mephisto, and Super Skrull. So we are shutting down Super Skrull speed, was shutting down Mephisto's speed as well. So we're going to start by doing the ultimate here. And there's the trauma disrupt on everybody. Ability block into Franklin. Let's go ahead and ult into Ms. Invisible Woman over here. So there's the stun into her. Now I'm going to try to shut down the Mephisto before he ends up kind of popping off into me. All right, so there's Mephisto doing the ult. So now we end up having the trauma, all those negative effects. So yeah, let's just go ahead into Mr. Fantastic. But I am not feeling threatened whatsoever. Let's do a special into Reed. Pop the ult here. All right, so there goes Mephisto. Mr. Fantastic doing the ultimate. We have full control. I am not feeling threatened at all over here. Let's use the special into Sue. That's right, that hits everybody, and the match is over. This was a breeze of a matchup over here. We get to see... Nope, I was hoping we can kind of see like a finishing move for him. Let's go ahead and move over to some other defenses. I'm not going to go through all of them. They just walk over everything. Infestation, easy matchup. Hellfire Club, Cabal right here. Accursed, Doom. This one here, old stats. So Damon ends up doing the ultimate. We get the double tap on here. Absolute A-Force, Thanos, Endgame, and Dorm. This was so easy, which is kind of ridiculous for how easily they were able to walk over this team here. If you are able to get the double tap, due to the Dorm being old stats, it makes it even better. So let's go ahead and pop the ult right here. Get the trauma disrupt out there. There's ability block into Kohori. There's a bleed out. Let's go ahead and ult into Thanos Endgame. Get that striker shot into him as well. And 2 turns. 2 turns and the matchup is over. There was a team there. Not anymore. Let's keep going. Next one we have an Odin comp here with Black Knight. Cosmic Ghost Rider, he does nothing because, again, we're able to shut down the extra resistance that Cosmic Ghost Rider ends up giving to the team. So we are basically able to just get through the Sasquatch, go right into Odin, and really just annihilate this matchup. So here's the ult from Damon. All right, let's go ahead and pop the ult. That should end up killing Black Knight, I believe, with the striker shot. Almost got a kill on him. All right, so there goes Storm. Let's use this special into Odin. There he goes. Wow. And yeah, super easy matchup right here. And there that one ends up going. So now we'll do the Xavier comp. Now there is a Fantastic Four with a Professor X. I do want to test that one out. I actually haven't done that one before. Let's do this Xavier comp first. This one here was super easy as well. You're just able to really get through Sasquatch, get the double tap because old stats, and then you just go right into the Xavier on this one here. Let's pop the ult. We have offense up. There's the double tap. And Xavier is about to get stunned right here. And striker shot. All right, basic here. And there it goes. No worries at all. This team is just ridiculous as far as how good they really are. They really shored up a lot of holes, and make it to where you don't need the full team is really powerful. So let's go ahead and test this one out. I don't know how this is actually going to perform. I'm actually curious what's going to end up happening here. So they are going to shut down our speed, but we're still a lot faster than them. It's a matter if we can get through the read and start getting the control into the Xavier. All right, so there's the double tap because of the Nightcrawler. Okay. Don't put Nightcrawler with them because that absolutely did nothing. All right, basic, and then I got nothing, guys. Okay. Let's see if we can find another strong defense. We have Odin, no. Mephisto with Night Stalkers is nothing. Let's check over here. We have an Xavier with them, so that means we can use Emma. So this is what I'm talking about. So if we end up taking Elsa Bloodstone out, we're gonna throw Emma Frost in here. So now we can end up stopping their speed stats or lowering their speed to where we end up going first on this one. We're not going to get the double tap, but we'll be able to get the ability block into the enemy Daemon. From there, I'm hoping that we can go straight into the Xavier, get the stun into him. All right, let's get stun into Xavier now. And yeah, Hellcat just hit so hard. All right, so let's go ahead. Special. There goes Xavier. So that's what I'm talking about. So this one here, they put a very powerful character like Xavier. It did nothing. You could end up doing the mirror, throw OG Emma, and just kind of walk over it. So now if I end up showing you what the APOC version is, it's a coin flip. Whichever Daemon goes first is going to get the victory on you there, which is very bad. So let me go ahead and back out. And this one here, APOC. So we can't use the Emma, so we're just going to use the full team on here. If we go first, we win. If they go first, they win. It's as simple as that. And I tried messing with a few comps. The 134 speed is the issue. So here, they go first. We get trauma ability block. And then Hellcat's going to go. And Hellcat's just going to delete our entire team because she's at 132 speed. And with APOC, they get the extra health. They get the extra damage. And game over. So yeah. And the issue being on this one is because they end up killing us, they get ability energy. So if you end up going in for the follow-up attack, it's just going to be just as bad. Let me see if I can find a Liberty team. They're going to walk over. I just want to know how easily they're going to end up walking over it. So full Fantastic Four, we're just going to walk over that one. Undying Xavier will walk over that one, especially with the Greg getting the double tap out there. Let's check the barracks right here. No Liberty. Gideon, what do you have? No Liberty. So I don't think we're going to see a Liberty just because they're typically an offensive team anyways. But if we end up going back to Dory Day, I'll show you a few test things I was kind of playing around with. So here Songbird is 132 speed, Daemon's 134. Whichever Daemon goes first is going to get the victory. There's very few characters that have a faster speed stat. So we end up going over here and look at the stats table. And we just sort by speed. Black Widow, Yo-Yo, they are both with the Secret Warriors. And they wouldn't really help us as far as what we need to accomplish on here. Ronan is 137. He doesn't have a turn 1 stun. It's a turn 2 stun. So here getting like a blind and bleed isn't going to really do anything for us on here. So I don't like that being a counter. Trying to bring like Nightcrawler Storm. I believe they stopped speed up or something of that sort because I couldn't even get a turn before them. So this speed of 134 and 132, even without the speed boost, it's a big issue. So the team I was kind of playing around with was new Emma to shut down the speed that Living Mummy gives, Quasar, Odin, Daemon, and Songbird. It's going to be whichever Daemon Hellstrom ends up going first gets the victory on here. And I really worry when Blue Marvel comes into the game because he's going to fill in the role of Apocalypse right here. And yeah, we just end up losing this one right here. We got nothing. But Blue Marvel brings so much more to this team. That's going to be a nightmare as far as trying to deal with it. So I know this isn't like a Blue Marvel video, but if we end up taking a look to see what he's going to provide to the team, every ability he has reduces the safeguard and the immunity And then if you look at his special right here, turn 1, it's going to apply the opposite effects of his positive into negative on the opponent. Then it's going to transfer those negative. The ultimate right here, it's going to end up doing a trauma disrupt on primary and adjacent. It's going to also on defense, if you bring a charged character, it's going to end up flipping those charges into bleeds. And he's also going to be getting a turn meter of 50% if the enemy ends up having any form of charge on him. So Blue Marvel's just going to make this defense so much more difficult. I do worry as far as how that's going to end up shaping up the war meta, which I've been saying we do need to have a strong war defense team for a while. And I think that's what this is going to end up filling. And it's going to try to fill out that void so that way it's not going to be like an efficiency battle. If you drop one extra matchup in the top wars, this is going to be the team that's going to kind of determine if you get a victory in your war or not for your alliance. So very powerful team, very fun on offense, but I do think it's going to end up being a defensive team. I'll try to mess around and see if we can find some form of counter for this. I just don't see a lot of counters based on all the holds that this team really does shore up. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.